Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Screen. I am your host, Jason Azevedo, and I am joined tonight by the, I want to say illustrious, I want to say dashingly handsome, B. Dave Walters. How are you? You are muted, actually. I think you're muted. There you are. That's better.
Yeah.
How's it going, my friend?
Yeah. I wanted to give the maximum amount of time for them to be like, wait, he must be talking about someone else. Like, is Mercer here? Mercer's back? Is he doing Strahd again? What? Oh, yeah. Nope.
No, just
I'm taller, but nowhere near as good a hair. Yes. Hi. Hello. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
But epic beard.
True. I'm working on it. The beardomancy is kicking in. That is for certain. Yeah. Yep. How you doing?
Good. Very, very good. And so I don't want to take too much time on announcements because we have you for a short time because you will be joining us. You will be joining the stream tonight that you are on. So all I will say is...
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say jumping right off of this immediately into like Silver and Steel sound check. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So just quickly, we had an incredible episode last night for everybody that watched for Tides of Wildemount. We actually had our community who are now, for our subs, I don't know if you know, B. Dave, we've been making them Pirates of the Revelry, and they're actually role-playing on our Discord and upgrading ships and recruiting crews, and so tier 3 subs or captains. And last night, 2 of our captains showed up on our stream via Zoom and played along with us. And so it was an incredible night last night. We're very, very thankful. And you were kind of part of launching this campaign for us in the role of Kajori, actually.
I was there as Kajori, and it was a fun thing. I definitely hope I get to come back and play him again. You know, Kajori is serving and doing his best on board the ship. Nobody cares about him or listens to him, but that is fine. That's fine. Yes.
Go ahead.
No, what were you saying? Sorry. No. Please. What were we gonna say?
No, I've been wanting him to come back, and we should get him back at some point soon. But I just can't. I can't do him justice because of his wonderful nature. People loved him.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It's schedules are insane. I mean, it is the most champagne problems around because I think I do 6 to 10 games a week.
Wow.
I run 6 or 7 and then I play in 3 or 4. So it's wild. I just was the messages we were sending just before you and I went live was somebody asking me to participate in something, and being the gig whore that I am, if I can, I say yes. So yeah, it's like I feel bad when I have to turn something down, but it is definitely the most first world problems at this point.
It's so great. It's so great. So for those of you who have not heard of B. Dave, we are all big fans here at RealmSmith, and when I posted today that you were going to be on, and I announced it last Monday, or yesterday rather, people were super excited in the chat and couldn't wait. But give those who have been maybe hiding under a rock kind of your breakdown of what you're up to, what you've done, what you enjoy to do, all that kind of stuff.
B. Dave Walters, I say words about things. You can find me anywhere someone will turn on a camera and hand me a microphone. In the D&D space, I'm the writer and co-creator of Dungeons & Dragons: A Darkened Wish. I am the DM of the official Dungeons & Dragons: A Darkened Wish stream. It's a transmedia experience where the stream and the comic overlap in these characters' lives. I play freely on Beyond Heroes, has since transitioned over into Silver and Steel, which is on the D&D Beyond Twitch. We'll be on at 6 Pacific tonight. And I'm like NDA. Yeah, and I've done a ton of those things, and also very active in the Vampire the Masquerade community. I play Baron Victor Temple on Vampire the Masquerade LA by Night, and I storytell Long Beach by Night and Anarchs of New York, and I think that's everything. And then I run games on my Patreon also. So patreon.com/BDaveWalters. We also have a 24-hour worldwide Discord play for both the World of Darkness and for D&D. And I just had a graphic novel fund on Kickstarter this past weekend, Electropunk Children of the Future. So that's coming soon.
So really just a few things on the go.
No, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, I'm really just sort of like a lazy kind of like layabout guy. The irony is, for all that stuff that I just said, I really am like a pretty lazy person. Oh yeah, and then I'll roll for it. We have a new D&D campaign starting June 4th. I think June 4th we start. Yeah, nice. I think we start. Yeah, all that'll be yeah. So I'll be playing a Warforged druid, which is funny because I'm at the point now that, again, I've been blessed and lucky enough to play so many games and so many things. I'm just trying to do things I've never done before. I'm guesting on Wizard Rex TV tomorrow night, also at 5 Pacific. Yeah, 5 Pacific. And I'm at the point now that it's like I've got to play so many things that it's just like I just look and I'm like, what have I not done? You know, like if you're an agoraphobic kobold with trust issues and a spice addiction, I'm like, yeah, give it to me. Let's do it. Can he have one arm? Yes, let's go. Do that, you know? So just trying to like come up with interesting new like combinations of things and experience the game in a new way. And it's been a blast. It's just been a lot of fun.
That's great. That's great. There are several questions about when Kajori is going to be back. So you've answered that for us. We're going to try and get you back as soon as we can make it work. Schedule-wise.
Yeah, as soon as. You know, here, I'm saying it out loud. I'm saying it out loud right now. I'm going to be putting together my June schedule here honestly, I could start working on it today. Here in the next couple of days, I'm going to put together my June schedule. Matt, if you give me a couple of dates in June, that would work. If it works for Kajori, give me a couple dates, and I can commit right now to making it happen.
Okay, good.
So if you guys need me, I can make it happen.
In June.
In June,
okay.
Yes.
All right. I will hold you to that. And so will our community, I'm sure. This is a question for both of us from Deacon Blues Hamilton. As DMs and creators with all different games, how does it feel when your peers bring your stories to life? Love the VTM stuff too, B. Dave.
I've got to experience this a couple of times now. I got to experience it when Tess brought the characters I wrote for A Darkened Wish to life with her art. And Jeff brought some of the things I wrote to life for Electropunk. But seeing in the stream for A Darkened Wish, seeing Melee Damage do Helene in all of her like fiery red-haired glory, Sam Delev with Aiden, Alquin Gersh with Rayonde, D'Artagnan Mataliano with Xander, and especially Aki bringing together the twins, Karn and Karen, and taking those things on and interpreting them and giving them a depth and dimension that I myself hadn't even experienced, because those characters in particular have lived in my head for 10 years. I've said before, like the characters of A Darkened Wish began as World of Warcraft fan fiction, honestly. So, hey, kids, you can go pro off of fan fiction. Also, you know, it's funny, we were talking about the stuff I do. I completely forgot I'm on the writing team for Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition. So we're doing that too. So, hey, all that is to say, it comes back around, y'all. So if you love these things, write about it, participate in the communities, let people know that you love it. And like it happens. It happens. Yes. That was a long answer, but it was a true.
Yeah. Do you sleep? Is the question.
Yo, not as much as I'd like, man. Not as much as I'd like. Yeah. So.
That's great. That's so good. This is more of a question, a comment from Sakura163. Please tell your daughters I loved their characters on All in the Family. The nut doesn't fall far from the tree. They did such a great job. Are there plans to do it again with your girls?
Thank you. Hang on. First, 2 things. One, you didn't answer the previous question, sir. The question was for both of us. You didn't answer it.
That was so true. So true. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had the opportunity to create as much as you have and have it being brought to life, but not in this world. In the video game world, I haven't all that kind of stuff, but in the RPG world, we're new at the content creation stuff, but it's amazing, like in our boxes, adventure boxes, for example, with us writing things and then having it sent out and then watching people at home either paint our minis or follow our tutorials, and just being inspired by something you do is by far the greatest compliment you could ever have. And so that's incredible. And then there's this weird kind of like 3-tier thing now where, you know, Matt, being the incredible mind that he is, created Wildemount. Now we're creating within Matt's world And then now, because we've kind of gone further than the original adventure, now we're creating stuff that our players are then going to put into their game. And then there's just like kind of unending cycle that kind of snowballs through time and space that is so wild. And even fan art, for example, like people are creating fan art of our characters and stuff in our Discord. It's just nuts. And it's such an incredible kind of experience to do what we do. When, you know, you think you're just around the table kind of playing with buddies, and then you realize the effects that you're having on people around the world. It's pretty incredible and pretty astounding. So,
yeah, that's why fan art is my favorite thing, because it means something I did inspired someone else to create something beautiful and something that they're proud of.
Yeah.
And you're right. It just keeps paying forward. And yeah, Roll in the Family, The Slumbering Forest was fantastic. I was very proud of both of them. My youngest had played a couple of times. My oldest, that was her first D&D game ever. So I'm like, your first game of D&D ever is on this like monstrously popular stream. I'm like, you are like the quintessential Hollywood child now. Like, just there you go.
Yeah.
You know, glad I could help.
So
you know, it was. Well, the craziest thing was going through character creation with them, because for both of them, you know, you can find those surveys online, like what D&D race are you, what D&D class are you type thing.
Yeah.
I put them through those surveys to like just kind of see what was the closest to their personalities, because I figured that'd be the easiest to play.
Yeah.
And my youngest always gets Wood Elf Ranger. And my oldest this time got a Tiefling Paladin. And, you know, when we're going through the character creation and everything, she's like, can I be from the underworld? I'm like, yeah, great, sure, you know, and like, and they drew their characters that we then gave to the artist, and the artist went and did all the art, and then I brought it back and I showed them the finished product, and she's like, oh, cool, he got my pentagrams in there, and I'm like, what? And then I look on the hilt of the sword, she drawn tiny pentagrams. I was like, you are so metal, child. Yes.
That's good.
And then you know, I'm like, so you're a paladin. You can be about healing and forgiveness, or you can also be about like getting revenge and punishing the guilty. She's like, revenge. And I'm like, okay. And then with the youngest, we're putting together the ranger. I was like, you can have an animal companion. You can be this child of the forest, but you also can be like this shadowy ganker that just like sneaks up on people and jumps up. She's like, ganker. I was like, first of all, you're both my children. Yes. Also, yes. So it was neat getting to see so much of them come to life in these situations. It was a really beautiful thing to get to participate in. And yeah, hopefully we get to revisit it. But hey, who knows? You'll know when I know. Well, you'll probably know just after I know. But right now I do not know.
So good. So good. All right, another question here. Is there a class you haven't played or have a favorite class?
I haven't played most pure melee stuff. I haven't played like an artificer. I haven't played any of the Wildemount stuff.
Yep.
Favorite class is honestly Bard. And I was one of those people that spent many years hating on bards, because for many years they were lame.
Yeah.
But there's sort of been like a bard renaissance, I'd say, since
Yep.
you know, late 3.5 into 5e.
Yep.
I mean, they're just a multi-purpose everything. Yeah, and I like that. You can do it all with a bard.
Yeah, I love bards, and they're pretty common on our streams. We have at least one usually each stream, and they're just such a fun class.
I'm big into multi-class though, because again,
Yeah.
Freely is a warlock, sorcerer, paladin bard. It's hard for me to stick to one class for 20 levels, man. It's tough. It's tough. So
Yeah.
it's I don't do many mono class builds.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Actually, and I don't do much multi-classing, which is interesting. It really, so fun.
Well, there's no wrong way to do it, of
Yeah.
course. Especially in I'm a huge min-maxer. Like, it seems like the stuff I do is like random and chaotic. It is neither. And also there's a world of difference too, of a character that starts at level 1 and grows up versus, you know, starts at 10 or 15 or 20. You know, of what isn't viable, because there's plenty of builds that come together late.
Yeah.
That would be just awful if you were trying to climb that hill. So I'm mindful of that as well.
So true. So true. Question for both of us as creators. This is from David Sebastian. For both of you as creators, how do you structure your days? Are you very intentional about scheduling?
Yes, because if I'm not intentional, things don't get done. I tend to well, the games I schedule are like very much regimented, and they're planned a month in advance. Because I build it around I put out the times that I can do the games, and then my patrons fill in the time, so I know that in advance. Right. Then I got the streams; those times are also set because we got to be live when we're live, and then I will have I know what time I get up. I usually get up around 9. The kids are out for school for the summer, which is a mixed blessing because they don't get up as early now. But I get up around 9. I try to work out first thing, so I try to be working out by about 10. Usually, if I don't have a stream, I've got a meeting or a conference call of some sort by 11 or noon. Then I usually have a game from noon to 4, then another game from 4:30 to 8:30 is usually my schedule. And then by 8:30, I'm off, but it's tough because by then I don't always have a lot of mental bandwidth left, honestly, even though I'm done. I'm out of words. I've expended my spell slots.
Yeah.
So around that time is when I try to do the projects that I enjoy. So that's when a lot of my writing gets done, or I'll edit videos, or I'll try and shoot some of the stuff for YouTube. Then I attempt to relax. It's the hardest thing for me is taking time that I'm like, oh, I'm off. I'm doing nothing now, because the fact that all the things that I get to do are fun.
Yep.
Is difficult. It's difficult to turn off sometimes, because otherwise, I have something I'm doing 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So it takes conscious effort to be like, okay, I'm done now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and watch Golden Girls and browse on Imager for a while, and and then I usually go to bed about 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah, and same here too. I'd love to say that it's incredibly structured, but it's not. It's organized chaos. And new things come up in a day that have higher value than other things that potentially exist. And so it's always about juggling kind of what means the most or what matters the most in a given moment. And then, like you said, at 10 o'clock when everybody's asleep, the house is dead. That's my creative time. That's my all day I've been kind of mobilizing the troops, and now it's my time to kind of dig into the trench myself. And I'll be up till 3 or 4 in the morning sometimes working. Is kind of my schedule, unfortunately, right now. But as well, looking forward to the week and saying, okay, where can I carve out time for the kids? Where can I carve out time for my relationships? Where can I carve out time for not necessarily friends at this point? But it is hard when you love what you do. Cry me a river. But it is difficult to know when to shut off, because it always feels fun, and it's not always, but for the most part, it feels fun. So. Yeah.
Largely.
Largely.
Well, one of the speech I keep giving is there's only one thing that the entire human race is equal in, and that is time. Yeah. We've all got 168 hours in a week.
Yeah.
Everything else, we're different heights, sizes, intelligence, income, opportunities. We all got 168 hours, and there is time for everything if you schedule it right. Maybe not every week, but maybe over the course of a month, maybe over the course of a couple of months, you can fit it all in. I will just say this one last thing, though. If you wait till you feel like it, it will not happen. Whatever it is, right. If you wait till you feel like it, it's not getting done. Yeah. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do find, though, for me, that I've always gone by kind of the tenet that you can't schedule creativity. And so sometimes when you hit a block or you hit a creative hole, then I say, what else can I do in this time? And then come back to this when my brain is working a bit better than it is.
But you can, because this was a trick I learned from Mark Victor Hansen, the Chicken Soup for the Soul guy. Yep. Is the way around that is you have multiple projects.
Yeah.
So you still have your writing time.
Yep.
And if the pirate story is not doing it for you, maybe the murder mystery is.
Yeah.
If the murder mystery is not doing it for you, maybe the cookbook is.
Sure.
So you're still making progress overall.
Yep.
But you're right, though. There's times that, especially, I went through a period when this was when I was still, day job, full-time working too. I hit just the biggest writer's block, and it's only happened once in my life, thankfully. But there was a couple of weeks that there was just nothing, man. Yeah. There was just nothing, just inky blackness. and when that happened, I did have to just be like, well, I guess, you know, I'm off for a little while. I'm going to let my brain reboot and whatever this is pass, and, you know, try and limit some of my life stress and get back on the wagon. And then, you know, eventually I did, and it kicked in. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, just work on a different project.
Yeah, it's so good. And it's so true, right? Sometimes you just got to, and that's where the juggling happens. It's like, okay, where can my energy be most effective at this time? Let's see here. For both of you, this is from Leah. How long have you been playing D&D? And a follow-up, what is your favorite setting you did not create?
You first, sir.
Curse of Strahd is currently my favorite setting. Just because, I mean, I'm loving Wildemount, and you know, been loving it enough to watch all of the Critical Role episodes. So I love it. But Curse of Strahd, for me, just harkens back to my teenage days. And some of the best experiences that molded me as a D&D fan and player and creative person. And so much more than just a world itself, it's got a real kind of core connection for me in that gothic kind of horror setting. I would say that is, and the adventure is great, and they did such an incredible job. And how long have I been playing D&D? So I started playing D&D when I was about 12. I took many years off for video games, like many of us did. Even worked in the video game industry for a long time. But then came back to D&D in a little bit in my teens, but then came back only about 6 years ago. So I've been playing and DMing solid for about 6 years, but I've been playing for like 25, or been involved.
Yeah, I've been playing since I was 13, and my favorite setting is honestly probably vanilla Forgotten Realms. You know, I've just spent the most time in Faerun, man, and I've done it all. I've been all over the place. The game I spend on the game I run on my Patreon is sort of like a Planescape-ish Spelljammer hybrid, where they're sort of just like, you know, adventuring through the planes and the worlds. But I mean, they still regularly come back to Waterdeep or Neverwinter or the Moonshae Isles, of course. So yeah, I think vanilla Forgotten Realms. Yep.
Dude, we got to do some vanilla Faerun in person sometime. Just no streaming, at a show, late at night.
Yeah, man.
With some coffee and some Red Bull, and just make it happen.
You know, I will tell you, a couple of years ago, when they did the D&D the Descent event here, and I was there, and I got to be a part of that one. And the thing that amazed me the most is how many games were taking place behind the scenes. That all these people that were like creators and working on, I won't bust anybody out by name, but you know, these like legends of D&D, rather than being out schmoozing, were in the back playing. Yeah. And I was like, this is actually beautiful, man, that you guys like still love it enough that this is what you would like to be doing. Yeah.
So wild, that was the first time we met, actually, was karaoke during that event.
That was.
Crazy.
That was.
And
yeah,
it's
that
really
was quite,
sad that
quite a night.
We can't be out there this year for it.
Soon we will raise the cup and commit atrocities vocally again in the very near future.
Absolutely. A couple more questions here, and then I know you need to get off and go do your thing. What is your advice to individuals interested in entering the TTRPG creative space? It almost seems oversaturated at this point.
Do it.
And that feels daunting. Just do it.
One, do it. Realize it is a business. Realize you have to be critical of what you do and continue honing your craft, continue improving, and be the best version of you that you can be at it. But by all means, start, because whatever you do, as long as you work at it, you will be better over time. Like I said, A Darkened Wish started as World of Warcraft fan fiction, but if I go back and read that fan fiction, I won't say it's hot garbage because I've been at it a little while, but I mean, it's obviously it's A Darkened Wish is much better.
Yeah.
You know, again, I've said this many times, about on the low end, we'll call it 10 years ago. On the high end, definitely 20 years ago, all of entertainment was gate kept by 50 people, 50 to 150 people, that if they didn't give you the rub, you were never going to be on TV, never going to be an actor, never going to be a musician. Like, there was a list, and it was a short list of people that had to you, or it was never going to happen. That's not true anymore. It has been completely, the playing field has been leveled for everyone. But now the hard part is being heard above the noise. Nobody has to give you permission to tell your story or speak your truth, but you have to find, your crowd that is going to coalesce around you. I will tell you, if you're not familiar with it, Google something called 1,000 Loyal Fans. That basically it is a theory that you don't need millions of people to love you. You really just need 1,000 who are like really going to support you in whatever you do, and you can build a career off of that. You can build a nice career off of that.
I am very much a believer in the 1,000. It's a great way to look at it, especially with the world, like I said, that just seems so huge and so accessible, but because it's accessible, so much more saturated. And so that's very,
man, I can't tell you how many times I've been told, don't do this. There's no more interest. This is dead. I was told before I did a Darken Wish that, D&D is dead. Don't bother with it. Almost every project I've done, I've been told beforehand, like, oh, that thing won't work. Nobody's interested in it. And then I do it and it works. And it's like, oh, womp, womp. You just gotta tell your story and speak your truth, man. And just try your absolute best, hit it as hard as you can, and it falls how it falls.
So true. All right, final question here from Sebastian before we let you go. Golden Girls one shot, when?
So, fun fact, this is true. The iconic D&D adventuring party was based off of them. It was based off of the perfect 4-person party. It was based off of the Golden Girls. That is absolutely true. The rogue, cleric, fighter, wizard 4-pack. Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. Like that right there is epic level play. That's like level 30 Golden Girls.
Oh, that's good. Eh? Dude, it'd be great to create an aged female group of adventurers. Level 20 plus, dude. Or better, our female identifying people that are watching this right now. You guys do it, Like I'll play Stan. If somebody puts together a Golden Girls one shot, I will come and play Stan. Yeah, I love it.
It's me, Stan.
I love it.
Yeah, and I'll be like an orc, and I'll be like a bugbear and be useless. I love it. Yeah,
that's great. All right, so let everybody
I love that show, man.
Let everyone know where they can find you, follow you, and what they can look forward to in the really kind of near future, apart from the show tonight.
I was about to say, in the nearest future, I'm going to be on D&D Beyond in about a half hour. And then tomorrow on Wizard Rex TV, Twitch. It also, that'll be 5 Pacific. You can follow me at B. Dave Walters on the Twitters. Actually, it's at B. Dave Walters everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, or where. And I'm streaming all the time, and when I'm not streaming, I'm playing with my patrons. So if you're looking for a D&D or vampire campaign to get into, patreon.com/B. Dave Walters. There's room for you at the table.
So great. Thank you so much. We have another minute. What I will ask you, actually, is one last thing. What was it like to play with Matt Mercer in his own world with us?
I really love Mercer. He is the nicest guy, and it is rare that when people exceed your expectations when you meet him, but I'm telling y'all, however nice and sweet you think that guy is, he is nicer and he is sweeter. He's the best boy. It was wonderful. It was wonderful to get to see his face while we were bringing those things to life. And I got a taste of that too, because Beyond Heroes, we did Wildemount for a while, and he wasn't at the table with us, but he still got to see us play in his sandbox, and it was we kind of looked at that like a love letter to him and to the setting. So it's a great time to be a creator. To that person's point when they were saying it was oversaturated, I'm like, it's not though. It's not. And the reality is, I'm gonna tell you 2 things. I'm gonna tell you a hard truth, and I'm gonna tell you a happy truth. The hard truth is success in this arena is highly, highly, highly subjective. I've seen great things that didn't catch on, and I've seen stuff that I thought was hot garbage that became hugely successful. And I'm like, I do not know why that's a thing, but here we are, you know. But if you, it is a business and you should approach it like one. But as long as you are coming from a place of joy and you are trying to tell a story that is not only good for the people that are at the table with you, but an adventure that the people watching will want to come along with you on, then everything will work out and it'll all be fine and you'll have a lot of fun and you'll create a lot of memories. And, you know, really, what else is there than that?
So true. Wise words, sir. Wise words. Blessings to you. Stay safe. It has been a pleasure. It always is. And we cannot wait to get Kajori back at the table for everyone. Good luck tonight.
I'm serious, man. Send me later tonight when you're done with all of this. Send me a couple of dates. We'll hook it up in June.
Awesome. All right, brother. Have a good one.
Cool. All right. You guys have a good one.
Buddy.
Bye.
Bye. All right. That was so great. B. Dave Walters. Such a good guy. And it's funny because, you know, B. Dave says that Matt Mercer is exactly who you imagine he would be. But B. Dave is that guy. B. Dave is a really gracious, creative, down-to-earth, humble dude who, when we were choosing characters for Wildemount, when we did the prologue, he was the guy that came to me and said, hey, you know what? Whoever's left, I'll play. Like, let everyone choose. Whoever's left, I'll play. He got Kajori and did an incredible job. He's just a super good guy. Love him so much, and definitely please follow him on all the socials and watch all his stuff because he's just a good dude. All the love, just all the love. We're showering all kinds of love. All right, lots of more questions here. Shadster and Prometheus are feeding me, so I'm going to go back to the questions that were just for me, and related to RealmSmith and anything else that's asked. We'll cover those as well. Just again, I want to thank everyone for watching tonight. We didn't do any sort of announcements or anything just because you guys know what's going on. We got lots going on, and it's a lot of fun. But just be sure, all I'll say is Players Table on Thursday. And I saw a question on here, when will we do the Drider? That is from Vixen450, because I have gotten so many requests about painting the Drider on Nolzur's, and I can happily say we will paint him this Sunday. So this Sunday on Nolzur's, the Drider coming your way. Ask and you shall receive. Build it and they will come asking for Driders. And here it will be. So there you go. All right. Let's see. From Justfal, I have to say, I think your Jolzos in our community, I'm pretty sure, has done an incredible job, and your generosity is amazing, of helping folks get to their goals and do the things that they do. So just want to say a huge shout out to Jas. B. Dave, how was it to play with your kids? We kind of answered that already when he was here. He said it was incredible and fun, and hopefully you got the answer kind of baked into what we already kind of were talking about. Dag Crystal asks, does the party have to ride with 3 earrings to get off Darktoe, or can they use a different ship? Dag, absolutely, they can use a different ship. They were brought to Darktoe on the Wave Chaser, but that does not mean they have to end there. The Wave Chaser is only one way to go. If they want to stay with the Arkle, they won't be going on the Wave Chaser, obviously, because 3 earrings is against it. And Snow, as you know from last night, doesn't really want to be around his sister so much. He wants to blaze his own path. So there is a very good chance that they will be leaving some other way, or just staying. Maybe they'll just open a stall, and the adventure will be over in the Sundry Square. So funny. Okay, let me look back here and see if there's any other questions further above. I know there were a lot of questions that were specific to myself. Can I make homemade washes? Also from Dag. Yes, you can. They don't have the same consistency because they wouldn't be made with the same sorts of materials. But if you do want to make a homemade wash, all you do is take your favorite color, whatever color you want to use as a wash, water it down a bunch, and then use it. Again, the consistency won't be the same. You won't have the same results, but by diluting a color enough and applying it over thin layers, you can get somewhat of the same effect. going there. I am seeing some questions here in the chat and not in the Discord here, so I'm gonna go ahead and look through the chat. Daza asks, do you have a time frame on the one shot? Not yet. Once we have all 4 people chosen, the last one next Monday, then we will go ahead and plan it. And so we got to plan with everybody's schedules in mind. So we need the 4th player in order to be able to do that. Mr. Carrot asks, do you have fun seeing all the craziness we have been getting up to in the Discord chat? Oh, let me tell you something, folks. First of all, you know, Joel and I sat around one afternoon on my on Zoom on my balcony. I was on my balcony, he was at home. And we were like, hey, what can we do? Because we don't want to just collect your money. Supporting it takes resources to do this, and especially during this difficult time, the box business being down, things can get tight. That's just the bottom line of kind of where the world is at. And so we need resources to do this. It takes money to do this. But we want to give you value for that. A lot of value. And so we were thinking, what can we do? What perks and things can we do? And we were like, hey, wait a second. The Revelry, and then it just... And literally within 2 hours, we had the concept and launched it. And what has come back from you guys in this community is earth-shattering. I would love to say what I think of what happens on most of Discord. I can't keep up because you guys are maniacs and I love every second of it. You guys are eating it up. And so what we're doing, what I'm spending my time doing is I jump into the chat every day, every couple hours, just kind of check out some of the streams. Don't have the time in a day to go back and read the whole thing. But that said, what we're doing constantly is, okay, what's the next step? What else can we give people? What else can we do? How else can we have people feel like they're interacting? And I think this is the only place this is happening for D&D and for tabletop RPG, where the viewers are actually affecting the story and involved. And so we're very proud of what we've been able to do. We're proud of you guys because we wouldn't be doing it and couldn't do it without you. So I love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. I can't say it enough. It's pretty stinking awesome. Roman Wolf asks, were you worried about the possible consequences of certain players trying to cheat in the Pirates? No. As far as we're concerned, you know, the roleplay rooms that are for the Pirates and the subscribers. So for those of you that are watching aren't subscribers, when you subscribe a level as a Twitch Prime subscriber or Tier 1, you become a pirate. Tier 2, you're an officer. Tier 3, you're a captain. Then you can go in our Discord, and there's a bunch of different channels that represent areas of Dark Toe Isle that you can roleplay in and do certain things and so on. We can't police it. We have 2 moderators who are working their butts off. We have our production staff, Josh and Julian, who are also moderating, who are working their butts off. And then we have Joel and myself, and we're working our butts off. So it's tough to police. We couldn't police it. So we're just trusting that our community has the ability to kind of self-police itself, and we're trusting in the honor system in a lot of these things. And again, it's mostly roleplay, right? The intention is never to have the characters create stuff necessarily. It's for us to create stuff that the players can live in, so, and the pirates can live in. So I'm not too concerned about cheating. Of course, if there is, pirates will hold you accountable. I'm sure. Rolled Shadow says, what was the Sirenscape music you had going in the background of the fight in episode 6? And that was not this past week, but the week before that. Oh, that was underwater. I'm going to tell you right now. Underwater, deep water. In fact, maybe I'll play it right now. I think it was Zombie Shark Attacks. There we go. Yeah, that's what it is, I think. And it's just a big battle of sharks and underwater noises and things. I think that's what that is. let me know if that's what you're talking about, because I'm pretty sure it was. Going through the questions here. MJ Cook asked, any word on when we may get to see that table build you did? I know. Folks, there's so much going on, and we've created all kinds of work for ourselves with this Discord extravaganza. So as soon as I have some time, hopefully I'll be able to circle back around and put together and edit the tutorial. Hopefully that'll be soon. Korgek says, hey guys, next week I'm starting a Curse of Strahd campaign, and these are older questions I think that we didn't get to before. Curse of Strahd campaign with my friends. I'll be the DM, and I'm planning on using Sirenscape. Do you know where I can get a list of the sound pack that Jay used during the first season of Into the Mist? Good news. So first of all, I used mostly Wildwood for Wildwood. Why can't I remember what it's called, Jason? Witchwood was the base of a lot of the stuff that we used. But good news is that we are releasing Death House, and we're releasing Hopeless Village, which was used in the village of Barovia, on Sirenscape soon. And that is showing up, I think, this week. On Sirenscape for sale. So as soon as that happens, we'll announce it out to you. We'll post it in the Discord so that you guys have access to it. But super excited to have those in the wild for people to be able to add to their own games. Mr. Carrot says, it's a comment, thank you for the cameos. It was amazing for us, and we are having fun seeing who showed up where. Raises a cup to Joan to Hong Kong. You know, I will say that when I was creating the descriptions for Darktoe, I messaged Shadster and Prometheus, and I said, hey, I want to incorporate some of the characters. Can you send me? And those descriptions came from, I believe, both of them collaborated on them, and I had to work them into kind of my narrative. But thanks to them for so eloquently kind of presenting some of those experiences that you guys had in the Discord that we could actually populate within the kind of setting of Darktoe. I'm telling you right now, we love it, and we love doing that for you and providing that world for you all to play in. And so it's really, really honestly our pleasure to do this. Night Road asks, as a dual player DM, do you find it difficult to compartmentalize meta knowledge that you personally know but your character shouldn't? Yes, sometimes. If you watch me play when I was playing on Dragon's Bane, it was difficult for me not to, if I knew, if I questioned a rule, or if I felt like I understood something, I have to bite my tongue. Once a DM, kind of always a DM, you can't not see the rules. It's like Neo and realizing what the real world is like, and then not seeing the Matrix the same ever again. That's kind of what it's like being a dual DM player. I can disconnect and enjoy and immerse, but it's definitely more challenging than before when I was either just one or the other. And I've been a player DM for most of my DM life. I DM'd when I was a teenager as well. Question from Dag. What will happen to the Darktoe Discord when the campaign is over? Oh, I did see another question regarding Into the Mist, too. We're working on that. Can't say anything about it yet, but we're trying to find another way within Curse of Strahd and Into the Mist to do the same potentially sort of thing. So stay tuned. There will be more on that in the coming months. We don't start Into the Mist till mid-July, so we still have quite a bit of time before that, and we will be revealing more information as we go. S. Good Kai says, last night's episode was epic, especially how you were able to weave the squidded Manticore cruise into the story narrative. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, I couldn't do this without you guys, so we don't want to. We want you to be involved. We don't want to have to build and live in this world without your input and creativity and your characters. And so we're just enjoying, really, really enjoying having you involved in it and a part of it. You know, having the captains on the stream last night was a pretty incredibly epic experience, and just seeing their faces come up on screen was, I almost teared up. Had to hold back a bit because you know, just seeing the kind of our players, kind of the shock and the excitement and the laughter that happened around. But in this difficult time that we're in, during this global pandemic, with people who are stuck at home, aren't playing D&D, for us to be able to even provide even a semblance of that RPG experience, and again, people who are really, really going to bat for RealmSmith and for everything that we do, to have them involved and show up on stream was really heartwarming for me, especially as our first two captains of our campaign and of the whole thing. Yeah, so exciting. I see a Robbie. I am seeing questions here show up in the chat from Robbie CCBBOR 1968. Robbie Cybor says, Jason, how much are you looking forward to RPing Strahd? Very much so. Matt Mercer did an incredible job in the finale of last season, part 1 of the finale, and I really enjoyed RPing him in the second half, but it was kind of his feral, sort of combative self. I can't wait, and I don't know how long it's going to be. Spoiler warning for Into the Mist. Cover your ears if you haven't watched it. But they got a letter from Strahd at the end inviting them to his castle. So however long it takes, potentially, or if they do it all, they will meet him eventually again, of course, or what would be the point of playing Chris of Strahd? But when they finally kind of meet him again, I can't wait to play the cool, collected, cold, methodical Strahd. That's gonna be a heck of a lot of fun, and I'm super excited about that. Gary Diamond says, it was something I will never forget it, and that is, of course, Garrett, who appeared as a captain on our show last night. Leah Simthlearned comments, I tested positive for COVID-19 and have been in isolation for over a month. It's places like RealmSmith that has made it bearable. Thank you. Wow. Man. Well, Leah, stay safe. Take care of yourself. That's why we do it. You know, we love playing D&D, and I would be playing D&D even if we weren't streaming, but the reason we do the work that is required to pull off a stream like this, or a channel like this, really, because we have multiple streams now, is because of this. Is because we know the effect that it has on the people who are watching. Man, that means a lot. Leah, take care of yourself and take care of your health. Roman Wolf asks, other than Strahd, who is your favorite NPC to play or would want to play? That is a great question. Who is your favorite NPC that you play or would like to play? I played a wizard in Sentinels of the Storm that I created, and he was a Jamaican wizard, like a Jamaican, and much like our one of the characters in Wildemount had a Jamaican accent, and he was a lot of fun to play. I enjoyed playing him. I don't know why. Oh, Jarrett. I loved playing Jarrett. The reason I loved playing Jarrett is because of how much I love Critical Role and the ability to pull in NPCs like that and have them kind of show up and people in the chat go, "Whoa, what? Huh?" Is just such a cool experience. So Jarrett was a lot of fun. I'm gonna say Jarrett. How do you prepare to portray NPCs? Do you list specific motivations, bonds, flaws, etc.? Yeah. So I try to get their voice. If it's if it's key NPC, some NPCs like the half orc guard last night that was ripped and huge, but talk like this. That was completely off the cuff. I had no guards or pirates ready to jump in. That was completely just happened in the moment because it needed to. So in those, no, I don't prepare at all. But for other ones that have a lot of dialogue, for ones like Three Earrings, I wanted her to sound like Snow, so I actually tried to learn and kind of teach myself how to speak like this for her. So yeah, their voice is important to me, because if not, I'll just go back into Barovian like I do with everything. And I do list important, again, depending on the importance of the character, I spend more time on them. I don't necessarily list specific bonds and flaws. I just have specific notes about their demeanor, what makes them tick, what information they have, if they interact with the players, what information did they give up. First yawn of the night, folks, not bad. So yeah, I don't flesh them out completely. I don't have the time to do that. I just jot quick notes depending on how important they are, central they are to the story. Mr. Carrot asks, last one I swear, LOL. There's never too many. After the crazy is over, any chance of conventions or meetups? I would love to do it. We've talked about it before. We've even had, there have been rumors and talks about RealmCon for I don't know how long. We'd love to one day create a convention for all of you, and for, especially in kind of on the eastern side of the world. Yes. Definitely chances for conventions or fan meetups. We will, whatever show we are at, we will absolutely try and collect the people who are Realmers, who are at the show, who can all, I would love to. That would be an incredible experience. Absolutely love to. Deacon Blues Hamilton asks, and yes, the long-winded one will try and keep it brief. Do you pre-plan each key moment for each character, each season, or do you try and keep much of it random? Key moments. So I like to make sure, I'm not sure exactly, I think you're probably talking about the players. I really like to make sure that my narratives and my stories are driven by the character's needs and desires. That is the best way to invest, and I've said it many times before, it's the best way to invest the player into a campaign, is look into their backstory, find out what makes them tick, and then present it. And so for that, I absolutely think, and sometimes it's a long game. Sometimes I know that, you know, right now we've been obviously digging into Snow's story. That's kind of where we are with Three Earrings, and we're kind of following his narrative. And then, you know, we'll shift as players discover new things and decide to do new things. But I absolutely am very purposeful about moments that I give the characters, especially even with level ups. So this whole vision that Gaziel had, that was it was very important to me to make sure that I dug into her backstory, gave her a little bit of what I knew would make her tick, and then threw in some of my narrative to where I thought it needed to go. So that's a perfect example of that. Lots of comments coming in now. Dag Crystal says, I suffer from depression and the Dark Tower Discord is helping. Thank you. That is why. That is why we do this. And take care of yourself, Crystal, especially in this time. Trobe19 says, is there a bidding pool on how long the party stays before getting kicked out of Dark? So, I don't know. I mean, the Mighty Nine were there for a day, I think. You know, they're not even at a day yet, and they're already in trouble. So we'll see how that goes next session. The Antipomadian D20 from Australia, of course. Question asks, if yes to RealmCon, would you have a virtual component for those of us that are 10,000 miles away? Of course, Heath, we would. Absolutely. Whatever that is, we'd make sure that we were able to get everyone from all around the world to join us for whatever we're doing. Absolutely. Puppet606 says, question, when will everybody be at the same table again? My campaign got back together a couple of weeks ago. As soon as our government says you can meet in groups of 10 or less without having to social distance 2 meters away, we're in. Or 6 feet, we're in. And we're on. As soon as that happens, we are following the government regulations as, not just to the best of our ability, to the letter, and making sure, even when the producers are here, we're all socially distanced, the three of us. But yeah, as soon as we can get, and right now it's 5 or less, as soon as we get to 10 or less, we'll be back at the table. And I cannot wait until that happens. I really miss being around the table together. I'm going to take this as the last question from Grinnin Grig. How about combined meetup, Nolzur's tutorial live, as well as separate ones? Yeah, absolutely. So Nolzur's tutorials live will continue to happen when this all ends. We have some booked already for the future, for future shows after the pandemic kind of settles, hopefully soon, and we can get back to getting to shows. Can't wait to see you all. And our community has just exploded since the new streams, basically since January, and we haven't been to any shows. So there, except for Gamma, which was a trade show, which didn't really count, but from a fan perspective. But it's no fan shows, no conventions, and so I cannot wait till we can all get together and see each other and paint together and all that stuff. Folks, it has been a pleasure as usual. And I really, truly love this show. We are planning to have special guests every single week now that we can. Notable DMs from the community, friends of mine, and colleagues and people that I respect. And just looking forward to continuing that moving forward. Hope you're enjoying that part of it. Don't know who the guest is just next week. Working on a couple things. But we will announce that as soon as possible, and probably come Sunday we'll know, and then we'll let you all know. Folks, be safe. It's scary out there in general. Keep not only your body safe, but your brain safe. And some D&D helps to escape. So hopefully our streams and the Discord and everything that we do here at RealmSmith is helping you to do that. Because in this time, it's incredibly important. Be mindful of the people around you, as everyone is feeling it, and some people need a bit more extra love. And all that means is a phone call or a text or a how are you or thinking about you. All right, guys, have a good night. Be safe. We'll see you Thursday for the Players Table. Sunday for Nolzur's, where we will be finally painting the Drider. And then finally on Monday for episode 9 of the Tides of Wildemount campaign. Love you guys. Y'all have a good night. Bye.